Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for resisting so much. I see your faces are very tired, and it's getting hot, so I'll be quick. So first, who am I? So I'm the CEO of a company called Gerrit Forge that you may not know who we are. So let's go to the next slide. And let's do a little quiz. So let's see if you're still alive, right? Who can recognize the bird on the top? Raise your hand. Okay, some of you, I was expecting nobody, so I'm really surprised. That's good. But if you don't know who is that bird is the mascot of Gerrit Code Review. And who knows what is Gerrit Code Review? Raise your hand again. Okay, that's surprising because it means you know what is Gerrit, and you don't know what is his logo. Come on, guys. So at least you learned something, right? That's good. So let's continue. So Gerrit Code Review is here for a very simple reason, that OpenStack would not be here if Gerrit did not exist. So how many of you know when OpenStack was actually first released? Yeah, go for it. Sort of. I believe it was 2010, but you're getting there. Yeah, very, very, very close. And the reason is they managed to do it because first it was a large-scale project, so it was a lot of software, and they needed a lot of collaboration. And at that time, they started using Git. And there was no other tool that was able to scale and allow so many companies to cooperate other than Gerrit. So here I just realizing here, just put here a little bit of timeline on how many Gerrit User Summit we did. And wow. We did 17, right? And it was just 1 year that we didn't do it in person because there was COVID, but that's it, right? And this is really the picture of the very first Gerrit User Summit that at that time had a different name, was called Git Together, because the Git community and the Gerrit community, they were always staying together. At a certain point, they decided to do different events. And that was the picture of the very first event. As you can see, there were a little bit less people than this audience, right? But there were very, very well-known faces, such as, for instance, Juno, that is the maintainer of the Git project. Then you can recognize Sean Pierce, that is the founder of Gerrit Code Review, still there. And also on the side, there is the founder of GitHub, Scott Chacon, that is going to be actually here tomorrow presenting at the Gerrit User Summit. So from some points of view, I'm really glad that first, for the very first time, we meet each other, so hello. I didn't know you existed, that's good. You didn't know I existed either, so that's good, we know each other. And second, c'est la première fois qu'on présente à Paris. Que c'est incroyable. Je peux continuer en français, mais maybe let's go back to English, right? And I'm surprised, actually, that we've never done it before. You will be impressed by how many people in France use Gerrit. To give you some example, all the aerospace. France is really well known for a lot of competence in aerospace, Airbus. If Gerrit did not exist, you didn't board your plane, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. So it's good to see that even some technologies that apparently you didn't know before, actually they exist. And thanks to open source, they finally get together. So just to give you some examples, so first Gerrit was created actually not for OpenStack, but was created by Google back in 2008 for developing the Android operating system. Because at that time, they needed first to do something that was really, really open, and they decided that Git was the right version control and not perforce. So once again, open source wins. And second, they needed something that was able to scale in terms of allowing a lot of companies to go and manage and cooperate with very large code bases. So they created exactly for that. And from that on, continue, even now. And will continue in the future. So to give a very short summary, what is Gerrit? Is a Git server, actually is the most scalable and distributed Git server that exists, plus a code review system that allows people to cooperate, right? Similarly to what GitHub and GitLab are doing, but they are not able to reach that level of scale. So other projects other than OpenStack that you, of course, recognize on the other side, but we got LibreOffice, very popular open source project. Wikimedia Foundation, even if they migrated to GitLab, actually, they can't get rid of Gerrit because still GitLab didn't scale at the level that Gerrit does. And many other projects from Google, they are all based on Gerrit, and many new projects, they are starting on Gerrit. But it's not just open source. Many large companies are using Gerrit, as I mentioned, and many large companies actually contribute to Gerrit. Gerrit will not be there if it was not for Google, Ericsson, Qualcomm, SAP, Sony, NVIDIA, us as well. Actually, we are the largest contributor other than Google. And last question, why we are here? Because we love each other. We didn't know each other, but we love each other. We love OpenStack, and OpenStack love us. And OpenDev, that is the environment that the OpenInfra community uses for developing software, is actually built on two big milestones. One was mentioned before, is Zool, that is a very scalable CI system that allows OpenStack in many other projects, including Volvo Cars and many other companies, to do very scalable pipelines, and Gerrit, doing exactly the same for the Git server and the code review. And just a round of applause for Clark that proposed actually these cooperation with the OpenInfra, and Alison and Helena, they made this possible. So round of applause for them. Thank you. So just about us, I won't be long with that one, but we are actually a company that doesn't do just Gerrit, but we actually invest a lot on other open source projects. And once and foremost, of course, JGit and the Git core. So we did a lot of research on Git and JGit, and we wanted to make that very, very, very successful. And we developed a lot of new technologies, and especially, for instance, the one that you see on the top left that is called GHS, is a brand new research that we did 3 years ago and led to a product that makes your current Git repo 100 times faster. And I'm not kidding. We did a research paper. It was presented in April by all, and it's been peer-reviewed by many universities all around the globe, and is awarded also a nomination for an international conference. And we are also Google partners or Google Cloud, and we provide also as a service. So I know that you didn't want me to go to AI, so I won't stay there more. But I say for you guys, they're managing your infrastructure. AI is actually a problem. Why? Because there are a lot of CEOs. They start to say, I want AI, I want AI, I want AI. Why? They don't know. That's the reality. They don't know. But they know they have to implement it because, let's say, the investors, they invest in their company, they say they want to do AI. A lot of developers that yesterday, they were just pushing maybe 1 PR per week. Now they're pushing how many? 50 per day. So what's the problem? They are putting so much stress on the pipeline. They're putting so much stress on the repo. And they are putting so much stress on so many parts of the infrastructure. So one side is, let's say, just putting more money. Typically, when something goes low, what do managers do? Throw money at the problem, right? Let's put 100 times more hardware. Let's put 100 times more CPUs. What's the problem? That we are actually not helping anyone. So we are going to do in this conference some real-life examples and testimonials of people that manage with the current infrastructure to deal massive workloads, optimizing the software, optimizing the way we work, and also optimizing in real time the organization of the repo. So as I mentioned before, let's go to the last slide, and then I shut up. Those are the people that will go and will share their experiences. So as I mentioned before, Scott, the founder of GitHub, will be here tomorrow talking about his new creation. It's called Gitbutler, that actually, after so many years, he shared with everyone that actually GitHub is not a very nice model of cooperating with pull requests, and actually Gerrit is great. And he's going to show how his new project can integrate with Gerrit. We're going to hear from Patrick, that is the tech lead for GitLab for all the Git operations and open source contributions. We're going to have a real-life story from NVIDIA, who has more problems with AI in terms of infrastructure than NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is going to show us how they are tackling problems with large repo and optimizing. And of course, I'm going to do also a little bit of talking with more details. If you're interested in all the things that I've been talking about now, just catch up with me or come to the summit tomorrow and Sunday. One important point, we are not, let's say, in this room, just because possibly it was too big for all the audience that we have, but we are in the Mons room that is just on the corner. Come and say hello, come and see all the things that we'll be presenting. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Luca.